So are you buying a house and you're having a hard time getting your offer accepted? Stick around. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks in this video to change that. Buying a house is hard enough right now. I'm going to give you some tips and some tricks that I've noticed on the mortgage side, at least, that is helping buyers get their offer accepted in today's market. First and foremost, the number one thing you want to do is make sure that you're fully pre-approved and not pre-qualified. Making sure that you're fully pre-approved is a big deal because sellers and listing agents now more than ever are paying attention to not only the offers on the contract, but who you're working with. They want to make sure that all the paperwork for the home loan is done up front. You're working with somebody that's local, you're working with somebody that's known, that's an expert, and that will help you close smooth and on time. It can do it in a quick, short, maybe 21-day or less period. Number two, of course, make sure you're working with an expert realtor. You gotta get with a realtor that knows what they're doing, that is a full-time agent, that knows the market, that will fight on your behalf to make sure and win. One of the great things that really good agents will do outside of working as many hours and navigating the market as needed for you is they will write up really strong contracts. Buying a house and making an offer on a house in the contract is not just about the numbers on the contract, aka how much you're offering on the house. It's also everything under the surface on the contract. Number one, if you're getting a home loan, what type of home loan are you getting? Obviously, a conventional loan or a jumbo loan has the strongest financing, so listing agents like to see that. So if it's possible, start there. Number two, the closing period. Regular traditional closing times are normally about 30 days from the time that you open escrow to the time you get your keys. Right now, the owners of houses want to get their money from the banks and from the buyers fast. So they're trying to shrink things down to 25 days, 20 days, sometimes even 17 days. We can do them as little as 2 weeks as long as the client is fully pre-approved up front. That's a major thing. Make sure you can shorten your closing time on the contract so that the listing agent and the seller knows that you're serious, they can get their money quickly. Something else about the contract that you want to think about is your third-party financing addendum. So what a third-party financing addendum clarifies in the contract is that you've got a couple rounds of approvals on a home loan. Round one is getting pre-approved. Round two is getting the first round of documents and everything viewed and looked at by what's called an underwriter. An underwriter is kind of like a financial judge, and they're going to check the buyer's work, my work, the agent's work, the appraiser's work to make sure everything is okay and adds up to the guidelines. There's a couple layers of these in the home loan process, but that financing piece basically pertains to the underwriter's first round of approval and says, hey, if you're going to get approved or if there's going to be any issues, you have to make sure and have it done by X amount of days. So normally, in a regular market, they write 21 days, 18 days. Again, now they're shrinking that down to 14, 10, sometimes 7. So the quicker you can shorten the financing period, the stronger that you will become from a buyer's perspective. The other two things you want to pay attention to when you're a buyer to strengthen the contract and help you win the offer is your earnest money. So the earnest money is like a good faith deposit. So when you go to buy a house, they're going to say, hey, give us a deposit, aka give us earnest money to show in good faith that you're committed to this deal, that you're putting some money up front. If you close on the deal, it'll act as a credit towards your final cash to close. If you terminate the deal, you'll get your earnest money back as long as within a certain period of time. Your agent will guide you on what that period of time is, but the trick on earnest money is normally it's about 1%. What I would recommend, but again, your realtor will advise on this, is double the earnest money. If you can do 2% earnest money versus 1%, it makes you look stronger. They want to make sure that the buyer doesn't have any outs, and the way that they perceive a buyer outside of conversation is on paper. So they're looking at the price of the house. Are you fully pre-approved? How quick can you close? Is your mortgage advisor local? How quick are they going to shrink down the financing period? How strong are you and how much are you willing to commit, aka the earnest money, to the transaction? All these things are layers in the appropriate way to structure an offer that states the overall risk, or aka the overall reward that the seller could benefit from. So these are just things that you want to pay attention to whenever you are putting an offer on a house, specifically in Texas, specifically in Dallas, given the nature of the market. The price, the time frame to close, the time frame for third party, the amount of earnest money that you're willing to commit up front. All these things are done to make sure that your offer can be as strong as possible and not just specific to the actual price of the house. Obviously, there's a lot more to it, but those are just things that I like to start and recommend from the beginning. You know, your agent's really going to be the one to help you navigate all those specifics, but these are good tips and tricks to help you win your offer in this market. Listen, if you guys found this video helpful, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and comment below. I'll do my best to get back to you. I promise I want to engage with everybody, want to help as many people as possible. So listen, if you just got any general questions about your home loan situation, maybe buying a house in Dallas, or what you should do to set up a consultation, call us, email us, text us. We're definitely here for you. We want to make sure that you have a great experience in buying a house, a great experience in getting a home loan, closing smooth and on time. Hopefully this video was helpful. Until next time, stay tuned.